Words so sharp, they cut right through. Real talk for the soul's appeal. Prayers rise up the wounds they heal. Lift our voices to the sky. A righteous perspective high. On this path we won't back down. For the Father wears the crown. Each step brings another fight. Breaking chains, we're seeking light. Voice of power won't be tamed. With His love, we're never shamed. Lift our voices to the sky. A righteous perspective high. On this path we won't back down. For the Father wears the crown. From the ashes we shall rise. Hope is found deep in our eyes. Every word a battle cry. With the Father none deny.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ARP in the morning. Appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. I am your brother Wise, man. I hope all is well. Hope you guys enjoyed the weekend. Monday is here. I know. Some of you guys, are, like that lady in the movie Office Space. Hey, looks like somebody has another case of the Mondays. I know the weekends, they fly by entirely too fast, but I appreciate you guys pulling up, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the weekend. Pretty low key for me. Not a whole lot going on. This past weekend. But look at LJ. I love Office Space. That's one of my favorites. I'm a fan of Office Space. Oh man. Yeah, it's on the cooler side of things. It's not raining, but it is cooler out. Fall is here. Those warm days and warm summers or warm mornings, more or less, are pretty much gone. But I appreciate you all pulling up this morning, man. I hope all is well with you guys. We got a pretty good show. I won't hold on to you too long. But LJ, you a mess. Not wearing enough flair. Yeah. Before we get started, man, I want to show some love to my folks in the chat. If you could hit that like button for me, please hit the like button for me. And when you do so, let me know, what number. Let us know what number you are when you hit the like button. Please do that. Right now we have 195 people in here from on YouTube, and then we have another 2 people watching on X. Shout out to my folks watching the show on X. Thank you guys for pulling up this morning. We are live on Twitch, but no one's on Twitch just yet. But hopefully we'll get 1 or 2 to pull up on Twitch. Excuse me. Before we get started, shout out to Luby Fishing, joining the ARP family. Thank you very much. And I know I get messages all the time. AARP is liberal. I'm like, it's not AARP. It's just ARP. A Righteous Perspective. That's it. But thank you guys. Thank you, Luby Fishing, for joining the channel. Shout out to, is it Lori Rapier? Sorry about that. Sorry about that. It says happy Monday. God wins. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you for being a member for a month. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. And shout out to Lori with the $20 super chat. Says God is good always. Definitely is. He is definitely is. You are absolutely right. Thank you, Deborah, for the $5 super chat. Says, good morning, everyone. Number 72. Outstanding. Outstanding. Thank you guys very much. And I appreciate you guys supporting the channel financially. It really does mean a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed the panel show on Friday. I thought it was phenomenal. You know, we went almost 3 hours, so I did break some of it up and re-release some of those conversations. So I hope you guys enjoyed those over the weekend as well. Thank you guys very much. Thank you guys very much for supporting the channel. Shout out to you guys. All right, let me show some love to my folks in the chat real fast. Shout out to Lori Addison, and we got my guy Hunter in the building. Shout out to him. Appreciate you pulling up. And we got Hadassah in the building, and we got Nanny in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up. What's up, Melissa? Aloha to you. Ayon, appreciate you pulling up. What's going on, Angela Montgomery? Appreciate you pulling up. Says she's number 28. Shout out to you. Thank you very much. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Nanny, I did not know that you had a daughter that lives on Oahu. Okay, you got to let us know where at on Oahu. You can't just say the island. You know, let us know where. Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Melissa, you're actually in Honolulu. Am I accurate on that? Let me know in the chat. I think you, if I'm not mistaken, I believe you told me you were in Honolulu. You know, we lived out there way back when. Actually, my youngest son, who is 19, he was actually born in Hawaii on Oahu at the Pink Elephant, the Naval Hospital out there in Honolulu. Naval Hospital, I believe it's Pearl Harbor, but and I think they call it Tripler. Yeah, Tripler is the name of it. Out there in Honolulu. They call it the Big Pink Elephant because it sits on a mountain and it's pink and it's huge. But yeah, but we actually lived in Kailua, Kailua and the Kaneohe Bay area. If you guys are familiar with the area, you know, is where we lived at. So not too far away from the Kailua Beach Park, which is phenomenal. Kailua Beach Park's phenomenal beach park. If you ever go out to Hawaii, I know a lot of people want to hang out in Waikiki and things of that nature, but if you're into surfing, obviously you got to go north. But if you like just a good beach, chill, calm, yeah, go out to Kailua Beach Park, man. It's awesome. Shout out to C Cook. Appreciate you pulling up. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. All right, who else we got up in here? I see Hunter, but I don't see the Bible verse for the day. Am I going to have to, you know, throw my own out there for today? All righty. Well, what's up, Renee Suzanne? How you feeling? Hope all is well. Coming off the surgery from last week. Hope you're doing well. What up, Zephyr K9 and Amber Young? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you very much. Yeah, LJ in the building. Shout out to you. All righty. Who is that? Is that Shayna Wilson? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Said arthritis can be heard in bed. Oh, man. Shout out to you guys, man. Thank you guys very much. Okay. I want to make sure I wasn't missing anything. While I'm doing that. Alrighty. Shout out to Melissa joining the ARP family. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, Melissa. Shout out to Jeffrey Wisnett with the $5 super chat. It says it's going to be cold and rainy week here in East Tennessee. All right. Yeah, my cousin's birthday was over the weekend, and she was talking about it was in the 30s already out there. It was 30s and 40s out there over the weekend. Shout out to Goose with the $2 super chat. Says, morning, drop of thanks. Keep sharing. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Yeah, they said it was freezing cold out there in Tennessee over the weekend. Yeah, one of my little cousins plays soccer, and they were out there at the game. and it was not nice out there, not nice at all. But things you do for the kids, things you do for the kids and the grandkids. I don't have grandkids, but my cousin, she does, and yeah, got to get out there, got to be out there to support. All righty. Thank you guys for pulling up this morning. Please hit the like button. Super chat, super thanks are greatly appreciated. Shout out to everybody that supports the channel via Cash App. Eric Plummer, thank you very much. Shout out to those that support via Buy Me a Coffee. I appreciate you guys as well, supporting the channel. Thank you guys. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate you all. Appreciate you all. Thank you very much. All righty. Let me make sure I see I ain't missing anybody. What's up, Malachi? How's it going? Kiwan Lynette in the building. Shout out to you. What up, Sugar Shane? Appreciate you. What's up, Dion? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Hope all is well with you. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. What up, Chad? How's it going? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Oh, Malachi in the building. What's up, Kenneth? How's it going this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What's up, B? How you doing? Says she's still sleepy, needs some coffee. Yeah, I know that feeling. I know that feeling. I definitely know that feeling. All righty. All right. Please hit the like button and shout out to Renee Suzanne. Shout out to Renee Suzanne coming through, gifting 10 ARP family memberships. Thank you very much. Appreciate you, Renee Suzanne. I hope you are on the mend. I'm going to try to jump on the call for a little bit. I can't hang out with you guys too long. I got a lot going on today, but I'm going to try to jump on there. Hopefully you'll be on there. I get a chance to chop it up with you for a little bit. Shout out to my guy Hunter coming through with the $20 super chat. Says, YouTube being demonic and hiding the Bible verse. I'm sitting there looking. I'm like, where is it at? I know I see Hunter, but I don't see the verse of the day. I was like, okay, I'm going to have to come through. I got to come through because it wouldn't be right if we did not start the show off properly with the proper Bible verse. It wouldn't be right. But hey, we're not gonna let the devil take that from us. He said, but I appreciate you, Hunter, with the $20 super chat. Says YouTube being demonic and hiding the Bible verse, it seems. But here it is again. And the prayer offered in faith will make the sick person well. The Lord will raise them up. If they have sinned, they will be forgiven. James chapter 5, verse 15. Thank you very much, Hunter. Yeah, I was looking for it. I could not find it. Thank you very much. Shout out to is it Goose Down Story with the $2 super chat. Says, how do I mail you my Christian poetry? If it's snail mail, look in the description box. You'll see a P.O. box in there. If it's email, I'm sure the Blues can help you out with being able to get in touch with me via email. Shout out to Leslie Aaron. Yes, the Ravens getting back on track. That was a well-needed win. Goodness gracious. I can't tell you the last time I watched the Ravens lose 3 games in a row. I can't tell you the last time I've seen something like that. Honestly, we were watching a game yesterday, and we were like, it was almost like a sense of relief, when the game was over with, like just a sense of relief. But we're sitting there like, when's the last time, we've gone through a losing streak like this? It's been a while. I can't honestly, I cannot tell you the last time that there was a losing streak like this. Seriously, I just can't. But shout out to you, Leslie. That was huge. That was a huge win yesterday. There's 5 games. They got to play another game in another couple of days. They play on Thursday night. And word on the street is that LJ may play. I think it's 50-50, at this point. but they're also trying to bring them back slowly. They want them to be healthy to finish out the season. The playoffs is still attainable. Coming in at 2-5 right now, it's still attainable. And there's a lot of good things, especially with the Bengals losing yesterday. That was huge. You know, all my Jets fans in the building, any Jets fans in the house, I'm sure the Jets fans are ecstatic coming through with the first W of the season. I'm sure the Jets fans are there. I know we got a few Jets fans up in here. Come through with the first dub of the season. Yeah, that was huge. But I said this on Friday, like very weird, the way the season and the way everything has been going on, man. Very weird. Look at LJ said, Hunter, get on your job. Thank you, Hunter, man. I appreciate your support, man. Thank you very much. Uh-oh. We're going through the office space quotes. Y'all gonna have to pull the movie up. If you have not watched Office Space, I do suggest you go and check it out. It's a classic, but it's hilarious. It is a very funny movie. Very funny movie. All right, let's get the show started, man. Hit the like button for me. Super chat, super thanks are greatly appreciated. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. Appreciate you guys, man. Thank you all very much. All righty. Let's get things kicked off properly here. Uh-oh. I hate when that happens. Work with me. Work with me. All righty. Let's get into it.
What's going on? I mean, no bullshit. I can't take it. Every single day, every single hour. And it's not even about Dems versus Republicans, about this country and what we stand for, man. They're literally putting America in reverse. I mean, quite literally, to a pre-1960s world. You got the Supreme Court talking about getting rid of the Voting Rights Act. And that's very real. Yeah. That may likely happen in just a matter of months. I mean, they're rewriting history, censoring historical facts. It's a unbelievable moment. All this anti-woke stuff is just anti-black. Period. Full stop. All the CRT, ESG, DEI stuff, that's all this is. It's this great purge, and it's happening in real time. And I'm sitting here, and I feel like, you know, luckily I'm governor, but like we're not doing enough. Right. We're not calling this out. We're not drawing a line here. And again, it's not about Democrats or Republicans. It's about who we've
right and wrong,
man. Yeah, right and goddamn wrong. Daylight and darkness.
I feel like anytime you want to make it harder to vote, that means you can't stand and win with your policy. Anytime you want to make it tougher for people to have access to what our rights are, you can't stand on what your policy is.
This dude said anti-black. You got to be kidding me. That's what they do, though. That's what they do, right? That is what they do. Oh, man. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, Gavin Newsom's, he's been making his rounds, you know, scaring Americans into thinking that their right to vote is under attack. Y'all remember what happened, if you guys recall, down in Georgia when they implemented, in Georgia, when they implemented the voter ID, you know, voter ID law in Georgia, and they were fear-mongering, saying, hey, this is going to negatively affect black people because, you know, black people don't know how to go down to the DMV. They don't know how to get a driver's license, so forth and so on. You guys recall that, right? And then Georgia commenced to have the largest voter turnout in state history. Do you guys recall that? But they said that making it a requirement to have an ID to vote was racist against black people. Like, we don't have IDs. Like, it isn't mandatory to have an ID for every daggone thing, right? You can't really do anything. All these folks talking about traveling and all this type of stuff, you ain't going nowhere without an ID. Come on, man. Stop it. All of their foolery, all of the foolishness that they've been pushing on this country has been on the backs of Black people, although it don't necessarily benefit Black people. Let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it real. So all these people out here talking about, Black folks' ability to be able to vote, it's under attack. That is hogwash. That is foolishness. It really is. It's foolishness. Seriously. I can't stand these people, man. I can't stand these people. And unfortunately, you do have some people that will believe it. You have some people that will believe it. But this dude running around, sitting down with anybody, that will allow him to sit down with and scare folks and scare Americans into thinking that their voter rights, are under attack. These people are full of sugar, honey, iced tea. But you got to ask, hey, why would they say something along those lines? Why would they say that? And the reason why is because the Republican parties in both California and New Jersey requested, the Republican parties in each state requested federal observers as California votes on ballot measures aimed at redrawing this state's congressional map in favor of Democrats. And while New Jersey votes in a highly watched, highly contested gubernatorial election. So the parties, the Republican parties out of each state, they reached out to the federal government and said, hey, we want to make sure that this thing is as fair as it can possibly be. Could you please send some people out here to make sure that everything is on the up and up? That's what happened. Democrats are up in arms about it, but that is what happened. And the Department of Justice, under the president, responded in kind. Let's take a listen.
Well, are they coming to watch or intimidate? Sparks are flying between Republicans and Democrats here in California after the Department of Justice announced plans to send federal election monitors to 5 California counties for the upcoming November election. The DOJ says state Republicans requested these monitors. NBC Bay Area's Christy Smith explains why.
The U.S. Department of Justice says it will monitor polling sites in 5 California counties to ensure transparency, ballot security, and compliance with federal law. They also say it comes at the request of California's Republican Party. John Dennis is a San Franciscan who's on the board of directors for the California Republican Party.
It's important to have elections that people have confidence in. So there have been concerns in several counties. The Assistant Attorney General for the Civil Rights Division was made aware of those concerns and decided to monitor the activities in those counties.
Monitors will be sent to Kern, Riverside, Fresno, Orange, and Los Angeles County. The department also notes it regularly deploys staff to monitor compliance in elections across the country.
This move by Donald Trump has nothing to do with election integrity and everything to do with election intimidation and manipulation.
But
These people, man, if you didn't have anything to hide, if there's nothing to hide, why are y'all upset? Seriously. If there's nothing to hide, nothing to see here, you shouldn't feel a way about the federal government sending people to go out there and observe the election to make sure that things are on the up and up. Seriously. Gavin Newsom and California Democrats, they are fuming after the DOJ announced it would send federal election monitors to select counties in California and New Jersey, calling it intimidation. Intimidation? Really? People standing around minding their business, just making sure that you guys are doing your job at a high level? I don't see a problem with that. That'd be no different than a teacher being upset that they're sending people to monitor their class, for a day at random. No, Checks and balances are needed. These people called it intimidation, but let's be honest. This outrage, man, it feels performative. It really does. The DOJ has used election monitors since the Voting Rights Act. I mean, this is nothing new. This is nothing new. These people come in, they don't run the polling sites. They don't federalize the elections. They simply just observe and document to make sure that they ensure transparency, the chain of custody, and proper mail ballots are handled properly. Simple as that. That's their job. States usually argue over, where monitors can stand, and they might say, hey, this individual doesn't belong here and there, but Newsom comes out and calls it a bridge too far, branding it as voter suppression and hinting at a larger Trump era power grab. How is it voter suppression for some people to just be out there watching to make sure that the people in charge of the election, they don't care about the actual constituents coming in and voting. They're concerned with the people, all of your, what do you call those people? The, all the people that are responsible for working, the volunteers, they're responsible to make sure that all of that there is on the up and up. These Democrats, they come out here, Gavin Newsom, they come out here, they ignore the fact that this is a standard practice that's been around for decades. Standard practice. It's been around for a very long time. They ignore that though. I mean, a hit dog will holler, right? Right? A hit dog will holler. Let's just keep it real.
Trump administration announced they're sending election monitors to 5 specific counties here in the state of California. They have no business doing that. They have no basis to do that. In fact, we have a statewide election for a statewide constitution. This is
a hit dog will holler. If you didn't have anything to hide, you wouldn't be concerned with this.
It's about voter intimidation. This is about voter suppression, period, full stop. And it's a pattern, isn't it? It's consistent with what they've done with the federalization of the National Guard and the intimidation and the chill that's created. They'll do that right around Election Day as well. Same thing with ICE and Border Patrol, masked men. Watch that space, showing up in and around polling booths and voting places. But this is a bridge too far. And I hope people understand it's a bridge that they're trying to build, the scaffolding for all across this country in next November's election. They do not believe in fair and free elections. Our republic, our democracy is on the line. We all need to wake up.
They really think that the American people are stupid. They really think that the American people are stupid. How is it that sending, federal poll monitors out to make sure that you guys are doing what you're supposed to do on the up and up? They don't have the ability to touch a ballot. All they can do is observe and document. That's all they can do. They can't touch a ballot. They're not responsible to move anything. They're just there to watch. That's it. A hit dog will holler, man. Seriously, a hit dog will holler. And maybe it is voter suppression. Keeping illegal immigrants from voting in our elections. Maybe that is the case. Maybe that is what's happening. And if that's the case, I'm with that. But this is rich coming from a Gavin Newsom, a man who doesn't even require voter ID to vote. Y'all remember they fought tooth and nail to keep it from being mandatory to have an ID to vote out there in the state of California. But yes, please tell us more about how federal observers undermine fair elections. How is it fair for law-abiding citizens when California lets anyone vote without showing an ID? You can't go to the store and buy yourself a pack of cigarettes, a bottle of alcohol. You can't purchase a bus ticket on the Greyhound. You can't purchase a flight without an ID, but you can go and vote in our elections in the state of California without an ID? Think about all the things that are required, that require an ID out there in the state of California. Think about it. All the things that if you want to do it, it requires an ID. But voting's not on that list in the state of California. And here's the truth, man. California's system invites scrutiny. Simple as that. Think about this, man. They have universal mail ballots. They have very loose ballot harvesting rules and no voter ID required, all managed in massive counties where ballot handling is extremely complex. Poll workers can't even ask for an ID unless it's a first-time federal voter. That's the only time they can ask. Now, I got to say this. Transparency shouldn't scare you if the process is clean. Seriously. Transparency should not scare you if your process is clean. Newsom's claim that, this is Trump's DOJ staging optics is laughable in my opinion. I mean, the Biden DOJ deployed the largest observer force in decades for the 2024 election across more than 24 states, and Democrats praised it as protecting democracy. All of a sudden, it's a problem. All of a sudden, it's a problem. Now, suddenly, observers standing outside or monitoring a few blue counties in the state are now considered Jim Crow 2.0. Really? Really? I mean, these people are ridiculous. Federal monitors aren't troops. They don't seize ballots, nor do they run the polling sites. They're simply there to observe, document, and report violations like intimidation or access issues. If your system is solid, their presence only proves it. If your system is on the up and up, if the way you guys go about doing things, if it's proper, these folks that are out there monitoring this, to observe this, their presence only proves that. If the goal is trust, hey, make elections boring and transparent. Bipartisan boards, cameras on every count table, clear chain of custody logs, uniform signature rules. Go for it. Do it right. Flood the process with all types of lights. That's how you rebuild confidence. California's model, it should get extra attention because it's huge and usually permissive. I mean, honestly, let's think about this. The state of California, the fourth largest economy in the world, but they don't want any checks and balances from the federal government. They don't want, any way to make sure that everything is happening, in accordance with the law. One of the largest states in the country, the fourth largest economy in the world, but you guys want to do things in secrecy? Huh? Do you guys understand that every voter gets a mail-in ballot and third parties can legally collect those mail-in ballots? That's why the scrutiny matters. Newsom attacking oversight looks more like narrative control than leadership, to be honest with you. Again, I got to go back and I got to say it. A hit dog will holler. Anybody upset that they're just checking to make sure that things are on the up and you're upset, you're fuming about it, that lets me know that you might have something to hide. Seriously. It makes me think that you have something to hide here. And here's the hypocrisy test. Did you cheer observers in red states but cry suppression in blue ones? Because if so, you're not defending democracy, you're just defending your turf. Newsom's outrage is pure theater, though. It's pure theater. Federal monitors, they're not invasive. They're clipboards and notepads. That's it. Clipboards and notepads. They're there to observe and document. That's it. And if California's elections are really the gold standard, hey, prove it. Let everyone watch, verify, and move on. Simple as that. If you resist oversight, though, If you resist oversight, voters are going to wonder why. The American people are going to wonder, why are you upset about this? Why are you resisting oversight? Why? We're not silly. Now, before we move on, I want to show you exactly why I said that this outrage, it's all performative. I want to show you why. I want you guys to see this. This is crazy.
So, it was also about paying the bills, man. And it was just like hustling. And so I was out there kind of raising myself, turning on the TV, started, just getting obsessed, sitting there with the Wonder Bread and 5 stacks of,
it's like the White Stack 5 story.
Come on. Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up, bro.
Are you talking about me?
Young
that's
YG.
it.
YG,
But
man,
every day in the backyard, just bouncing the basketball, throwing the ball against the wall until the ball is just like fraying, man, and your arms
Entertaining
fall
yourself.
off. That's it, whole thing. So just and then then this student that was shitty student is in the back with his head down. All of a sudden, started throwing the baseball a little faster than everyone else, and started make a few free throws because I was sitting there practicing 500 of them every damn night. And in high school, I look up in the stands, my dad's back up there.
Okay, dope.
And it's like, man, and then he's bringing his friends and you're captain of the team and you're like, geez, and it just saved me and it got me into college.
This dude is full of sugar, honey, iced tea. Shout out to my brother Van. He is full of it, yo. Do y'all realize that this dude is just full of lies? Goodness gracious, man. So Gavin Newsom, son of an appellate judge and heir to the old San Francisco privilege, is now out here, debuting his hip hop, urban, I grew up in the hood persona. Golly, dude. Oh, man. Hey, this is Kamala style. This is Kamala style. Oh, man. Sheesh. Wow. At this point, man, I mean, we gotta come to a realization that these just aren't serious people. They're not. They'll tell you whatever they feel like they need to tell you. You know what I'm saying? To get your vote. I mean, the moral outrage, from these folks, it's performative, to say the least. And they have proven that they'll say or do anything to keep their votes flowing. Anything. This dude literally just told a story like he was in the hood out there, latchkey kid by himself. And then all of a sudden he got good at sports and his dad popped back up. Come on, man. Stop it. Really? These people really will say or do anything to keep the votes flowing, man. Seriously. Seriously. And when they can't keep that thing going, they'll make it easier for those that shouldn't be voting to do so. Now, this isn't just about California. I mean, you got New Jersey as well. The New Jersey situation is getting federal monitors as well because they have some reoccurring issues with mail-in ballots and post-election transparency. And the difference, though, is this. Republicans like Jack Ciattarelli said it best. If everything's clean, who cares who's watching? And I'm with them on that. Hey, if you don't have anything to hide, who cares? Who cares who's watching? And in my opinion, that is the proper attitude. If your system works, extra oversight will validate it. If you panic, if you get out here, yell, scream, whine, and moan that, hey, the federal government's coming out here to observe and document, if you go out there and do that, you panic. It tells your voters that, hey, you got something to hide. You got something to hide. Newsom's outrage, I mean, it's pure politics. It's not based on principle. If California's process is already airtight, prove it with transparency. You got nothing to worry about. He should have been the first one out there saying, you know what, we walk on the monitors. Our system is A1. Hey, publish every detail. We got nothing to hide here. New Jersey's, hey, we've got nothing to hide posture is what every state should emulate. That's what every state should emulate. We got nothing to hide. Because the best way to end the, hey, they're stealing the vote narrative is simple. Hey, show the receipts in real time. Show the receipts in real time. You got nothing to concern yourself with. If everything's good, hey, the American people will say, hey, they went out there, they got a chance to monitor, they documented, this is what they found, nothing to see here, everything's on the up and up. The way he came out, though, it really leads me to believe that they know that there's some crooked shenanigans going on over there, and they are afraid that it's going to be uncovered. Yeah, I want to keep it moving, though. But before I do so, a couple super chats I want to read. Please remember to hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. Shout out to Deborah Carver with the $2 super chat. Says happy Monday. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Shout out to C Cook, someone who has been a member for a month. Shout out to you, C Cook. What a month of blessings. Absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out to Marla with the $2 super chat. Says testing. I was number 6. Lots of posting not showing. Shout out to you, Marla. Thank you very much. We definitely saw that. Shout out to my guy, Rolando, with the $2 super chat. Says Wednesday's show should be called The Wash. You got to clarify why it should be called The Wash. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Why? You can't just say it should be called this without giving a explanation as to why. Appreciate you, Rolando. Shout out to C Cook with the $5 super chat. Says amazing how he wants to point fingers. He wants to point fingers at everybody else, but not give sympathy to those who are hurt by the DEI woke agenda. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Shout out to C Cook with the $2 super chat. Says, how real is your real? Just asking. Thank you, C Cook. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Honestly, I think every election, state and federal, should be monitored at this point based off of what we know. Honestly, I think it should just be a thing. There's elections. Hey, there's going to be some federal observers, out there, strategic places, pick and choose. Folks in the state, they don't need to know, where they're going to be at. Not necessary. Just allow it to happen. Seriously. But let's keep it moving, man. I want to move on to some other news out there. There's something rare that just happened on CNN. Something extremely rare that happened on CNN. And a moment of honesty. A moment of honesty. Abby Phillips' struggling show, hosted by, not really hosted by, but, the main star there is Republican commentator Scott Jennings. And to be honest with you, without him, the panel, it would have been a total train wreck long time ago. Scott Jennings dropped a dose of reality about the Democrat Party's internal chaos. And the liberal guests, they didn't take it well. But what set them off was this. The growing scandal around Graham Plattner. Graham Plattner, for those of you guys that don't know, he's Maine's Democratic Senate candidate, a self-described socialist who's leading in the polls despite sporting what looks like a Nazi-style tattoo. And he's now scrambling to explain it away. But do you guys not see the signs here? Up in New York City, we have a person running for mayor who is outwardly letting everybody know that he is a socialist. We have a person in Maine who is running for a Senate seat, one of the 100 slots that we have in the Senate. Yeah. Who is out there saying that he is a socialist. You obviously have Bernie Sanders, who have come out and said a socialist. AOC come out and said, hey, I'm a socialist. Do we not see what's going on? Seriously, do we not see what's happening? Folks better pay attention.
This?
Yeah, what's it?
Literally nothing. It's just a.
Oh.
It's a design.
Is it like a possum or I don't know?
No, it's supposed to be like a dog.
That was Graham Plattner. He's a Democratic candidate running for U.S. Senate in Maine, debuting the brand new ink that, as of today, has covered up a previous tattoo that resembled a Nazi symbol. The decision to replace the tattoo coming after this video of the oyster farmer and first-time candidate revealed a skull and crossbones design on his chest that is widely recognized as a Nazi symbol. Plattner, who said he was unaware of the tattoo's Nazi association, explained that it was the result of a drunken night out 18 years ago.
We went ashore in Split, Croatia, myself and a few of the other machine gun squad leaders, and we got very inebriated. And we did what Marines on liberty do, and we decided to go get a tattoo. And we went to a tattoo parlor in Split, Croatia, and we chose a terrifying-looking skull and crossbones off the wall because we were Marines, and skulls and crossbones are a pretty standard military thing.
Plattner's explanation seemingly sufficient for Senator Bernie Sanders, who today said he is, quote, absolutely standing by his endorsement of Plattner.
Can I ask you about the tattoo?
Once again, we are dealing with a collapsing healthcare system, and you were asking me about whether or not a guy should get a tattoo removed? Sorry.
Hey, if Bernie Sanders is backing this guy, you know what time it is. You know he's a socialist. Bernie Sanders has come out and said that he is a socialist. We know what time it is. We aren't stupid. But all right, so this Plattner character claims that he didn't know what it meant when he got the quote-unquote skull and crossbones. Said he just picked it up from a tattoo parlor out in Croatia. Said he got it in Croatia while serving in the Marines, and we do appreciate his service. But CNN's own K-File dug up his old Reddit post. I want you guys to see this here. I got to pull this up. Give me a second. I want you guys to see this, and I want to be able to, I think it might be easier for me to do it this way. Yeah. So says I got older and became a communist. Deleted post show Marine Senate hopefuls raw views on politics, war, and police. Now this guy's old oyster farmer. And I will not refuse to subscribe to CNN. I was hoping it was going to let me scroll and show this thing. I guess not. Hold up a second here. No, it won't. That sucks. It let me do it earlier, but I guess I did the time limit. But oh well, it is what it is. But yeah, so you guys got a chance to see that. That's the headline there. But it does get worse because Plattner once discussed the exact Nazi symbol, some years ago. So you had people who say that they knew him, and they said he absolutely understood its meaning and even called it a Nazi style design. So his, I didn't know excuse. I mean, it's not fooling anyone. It's not. But the story itself, it is exploding because Plattner isn't some fringe candidate. He's the leading candidate on the Democratic primary, and he's leading by 30 points. People got to understand that what's going on right now. The Democrat Party is essentially the Socialist Party, which is essentially the Nazi Party, essentially. People may or may not know this, but the Nazis were socialists. And, when you look at and you check off or you look at what the Nazi Socialist Party, what they wanted and what their agenda is or was, and you look at what the Democrat Party agenda is, they're hand in hand, man. The censoring of free speech, they want to remove, guns, no 2A. We can kind of go down the list, but they're one and the same. And people got to understand that way back when, at the height of the Nazi Party, they actually came over here to America to monitor and observe the Democrat Party here, during the Jim Crow era, to see if that's something that they could utilize and take back to their own country. And the one thing that they did say is that, hey, what the Democrats got going on over in America in reference to Jim Crow, that's even a little further than we could go in their own country at the time. That's what they said out of their own mouths. The sad part about it, though, is that we have so many people here in America that don't really understand history. They don't really know, anything about these people. They don't know anything about these parties. It's really sad, because what we hear from Democrats is, the Republicans or the MAGA movement, it's fascist, and, obviously comparing Trump to Hitler, so forth and so on. But it's actually their policy, their agenda that's more in line with those people over there. And now you're starting to see the candidates that are running for these offices. I mean, dude, we're talking about another person that's running for, one of those slots in the Senate. They're not hiding it anymore. They no longer have to be covert about their ideology. They can be out front in the open with this. They don't have to hide it anymore. They can come out and tell you, like, hey, we're pro-socialism. So much so that we have a candidate right now who won the Democratic primary as a socialist. They're not hiding it. And this dude here, this Plattner character, he's leading the Democratic primary by 30 points. So, yeah, it looks like this is going to be the guy. And what we do know is that the Democrats, the Schumers, the Sanders, the Hakeem Jeffries of the world, they're going to get behind the guy and support the guy. No different than, the Democratic machine getting behind Zoran Mondani up in New York City. No different. Y'all saw it over the weekend. Hakeem Jeffries had basically come out and said, hey, I'm supporting the Democratic candidate. He's come out and said it. Yeah. And when you think about this, when you think about the fact that this dude's leading the Democratic Party or primary by 30 points up there in Maine. I mean, this is crazy. And that's exactly what Scott Jennings called out on CNN the other day. I want you guys to see this.
All right, John.
The online discourse around this candidacy, this guy is the favorite of the radical left base of the Democratic Party. They're standing by him despite the fact he has a literal Nazi tattoo on his chest, and he's made abhorrent comments in some of these Reddit threads that he's been involved in. They are unwilling to walk away from it because they want the candidates who are the most radical and the most progressive, and they're willing to put up with Nazi symbolism and other terrible remarks because of it. This is their guy. I don't think they're going to walk away from him. Paul's right. The popular Mills, I guess is going to be in this primary. But look online this morning. Look at your friends this morning, Paul. Look what they're saying about this guy. They want the Democratic Party to stand next to him because they think he's the bigger fighter. He's the not establishment guy, and they're willing to overlook the Nazi stuff over it. I don't know.
We will see what happens there. Scott Jennings,
no, that's a good point. But there's the Twitter elite, and then there's voters. Voters have a lot more sense.
We will see what the voters say if it goes to them.
The Twitter elite and then the voters. I don't know. But it's looking like this is their guy. And he basically said, look, you've got a Democrat in Maine, a guy who calls himself a communist, who openly sports a Nazi tattoo, and the Democrats are rallying behind him. Jennings told the panel flat out that this guy represents the energy and the base of today's Democratic Party. And you know what? Scott Jennings is not wrong. Democrats have spent years calling the president and Elon Musk Nazis, yet their own voters are now embracing a literal candidate with Nazi ink. That in itself is an irony. That's what you would call hypocrisy. These people are ridiculous, man.
Who is asserting this thing he did on the stage the other day was a Sig Heil, which I just heard you say. Lawyer up maybe, because absolute ridiculous
thing to say.
I get it. It's easier for you to defend, for whatever reason, the Sieg Heil. Okay, but Elon Musk, 2 days before Holocaust Remembrance Day, went and spoke in front of a far-right party, is saying, don't worry about the Holocaust. We can forget about it. You didn't even mention the Nazi jokes he was making on Twitter that actually got
He's been given so many chances.
Like a person who wears a Nazi tattoo because he was in the military or whatever claimed that he didn't know the connection between the tattoo and Nazi symbols. He said while he was in the military, he enlisted in the army. It involves a full physical exam of all the tattoos that he has. It never got flagged. He passed a full background check to receive a security clearance to join the ambassador to Afghanistan's security detail. Not flagged in any of those situations. This new information is new information, and it will be interesting to see what happens to some of that polling once the voters have this information, because I do think it shows a bit of a different picture.
This is what they do. This is what they do. But I got to ask you guys in the chat, is anybody surprised by this? Seriously. Abby Phillips defending this. Jamel Hill shaking her head like, oh, yeah. Are any of you guys surprised by this? Seriously. Are any of you all surprised by this? I mean, we all know that, they were lying and overreacting, about this. They were lying and overreacting, about Elon's gesture, right? Just like we all know that now they're going to try to minimize the significance of their own candidate with the Nazi tattoo. That's why the mainstream media is a joke, man. I wish these organizations, the CNNs, the MSDNCs, majority of your left-leaning newspaper outlets out there, I wish they would just come out and call and just say, hey, we are the media arm of the DNC. I wish they would just come out and say this and quit trying to say that they're, fair and non-biased journalists. This is why no one's really paying attention to these people anymore. The media, mainstream media especially, they're a joke, man. Peak hypocrisy on full display. Why won't they just come out and just say, hey, we are the media arm for the DNC? Seriously. Oh, Waltz is definitely a socialist. I mean, that dude's basically bent the knee to Somalia. I mean, these people on the left, the Abby Phillips of the world, they really work my nerves, man. Seriously. They're extremely quiet on this Plattner character. But y'all remember what they did with Elon? With Secretary Hegseth. Y'all recall this. I'm sure y'all remember it.
Has been paid to Hegseth's tattoos. A Deus Vult one that has been adopted by white supremacists.
A tattoo of his that's been affiliated with the Christian Crusaders and white supremacists.
Pete Hegseth, he's not that terrible. It's just the fact that he has a white supremacist tattoo on him. A tattoo on his arm that is associated with white supremacist groups.
Hegseth has a Crusader tattoo, which is tied to white nationalists.
Tattoos associated with white nationalism, has white Christian nationalist tattoos.
The white nationalist symbol that he has on his body.
White supremacist and extremist tattoos.
He has white nationalist tattoos.
It's a tattoo that has links to a Christian national group that has a history of extremist activity.
A tattoo that's been linked to a Christian nationalist group.
The tattoos on Hegseth, that some experts say are symbols of Christian nationalism.
Pete Hegseth's tattoos. He has Crusader tattoos on his body. There's too many factors here for this to be a coincidence.
Those symbols also used by groups that associate with Christian identity. The Southern Poverty Law Center, which tracks hate groups, defines that as an anti-Semitic racist theology.
And here's the kicker, man. Total silence from Democrats, though, in reference to this Plattner character. Not one major figure has condemned Graham Plattner or called him to step down. Not Bernie Sanders, not Hakeem Jeffries, not Chuck Schumer, none of these folks. In fact, Sanders endorsed him. We know this. The same Bernie who nearly led the party twice and still wields a lot of influence. And Jeffries, the so-called moderate, hey, he just backed, I said this earlier, he backed a self-declared socialist up in New York. So tell me again how this isn't who the Democrat Party is at this point. Is it safe to say that, hey, this is the Communist Socialist Party of America at this point? They no longer have to hide it anymore? When your leaders are siding with radicals, communists, socialists, and now, a candidate, with Nazi imagery, that in itself tells you everything that you need to know about who the Democrats are and the direction that they're going. And Scott Jennings nailed it. This is the Democratic Party's monster. They've spent years radicalizing their base under the banner of fighting fascism. And now that base is flirting with fascism from the other side. Polls show that 2/3 of Democrats view socialism as favorable, while fewer than half still back capitalism. And the crazy thing is that most of the people don't even understand, although they support socialism, they don't really know what it is. They don't really know what it means to be a socialist. They really don't. And a lot of those folks are quote unquote anti-capitalism, but they don't even understand what that means. It's no longer just, a coastal trend. Nah, it is spreading to places like Maine. It's already, in a large portion of Minnesota, large portion of Michigan. No, this is spreading like wildfire amongst Democrats. And when CNN pressed Jennings on whether Plattner's tattoo reflects the party at large, he didn't flinch. He pointed to the facts. Plattner's leading by 30 points as a far left socialist. 30 points in the primary as a far left socialist. That in itself tells you everything that you need to know about the direction of the Democrat Party.
At this point, if he moves forward, Democrats aren't winning the seat.
I hate to break the news to you, but he's winning the primary by 30 points.
Well, I think that's why he needs to get out.
Getting a Nazi tattoo made him more popular.
I don't think it made him more popular
among Democrats. You've got a guy running for attorney general in Virginia who wants to murder Republicans, and he raised $500,000 off
people
of
have
it.
also
You got
said-
Nazi tattoo guy in Maine. I sat out here for a year, 2 years, listening to every Democrat at this table say, Donald Trump's a Nazi, Elon's a Nazi, and your party is now in love with a guy with a Nazi tattoo who trained a left-wing paramilitary group and called himself an Antifa super soldier on the internet, and he's going up every day. Good luck getting him out. I am but a humble political analyst, and I will just tell you that when you're winning a race by 30 points, if a pundit on television tells you, well, you need to think about dropping out, you laugh in their face.
I don't know. This is a year out.
I feel like
Democrats,
leave the race.
I want Democrats to be who they are. This is who they are.
This is not
No, that
who
is
they are.
who they are.
No, it is
Why?
not.
What's inside?
Hold on, you're saying that Democrats are Nazis? Is
I'm
that
saying
what
it's very on brand right
I'm
now.
sorry.
Very on brand.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on, Scott. Really, are you suggesting that, like, a person who wears a Nazi tattoo because he was in the military or whatever is representative of the entire Democratic Party? Is that the...
I'm only reading the polling, Abby. When all this story broke and he started talking about it, he literally got more popular. He's beating the incumbent governor of Maine by 30 points.
You realize that he's running in one state, in Maine, and you're also saying that because of that, he's representative of the Democratic Party. You said this is who they are. Who is they?
Look at the polling. Look at the energy.
This is not about the polling.
This
is not about the polling.
This is who they want. Bernie Sanders wants him. The beating heart of the Democratic Party, where their energy is, wants the Nazi tattoo guy. That's what they want.
75% of...
I think if this country is about anything, it's about understanding that every person, me, you, everybody else, has gone dark moments in our history, and we go on.
So you're standing by your endorsement?
Absolutely.
Hold on, Bernie Sanders isn't the head of the Democratic Party, I think.
He's not?
Absolutely not. Don't even.
Where's
Hakeem
the
Jeffries and
energy?
Chuck Schumer.
Where's the energy of the party?
Here is what I will tell you.
Schumer wants Mills.
Scott,
Sanders wants this guy, and he's winning by 30.
Let me tell you, this, when polling happened,
He is totally
the
unknown.
entire party.
Listen, I understand you don't want to have this guy, and I wouldn't either.
He is a totally unknown guy, comes out of nowhere. He's got the full support of the left-wing, progressive Sanders wing of the Democratic Party. And
like everybody
he's beating
is who supports Bernie Sanders?
Yes, look at the polling. And here's the most important thing. He's beating the incumbent governor of the state by 30 points. This isn't happening in a vacuum. People are comparing an establishment figure like Mills and this insurgent left-wing radical like Plattner, and they're like, you know what? We'll take the Nazi tattoos. It's fine. And I think look, it may be early, but people are following this race, and the polling is pretty clear. It's not that close. Look, he doesn't answer to you. I mean, I wish he did, and I wish you were in charge. He answers to the energy base in your party, and right now, the energy is behind these left-wing, progressive kinds of candidates. This is who they want.
We're talking about this at the end.
The voters have spoken. The voters have spoken. This is not a fringe movement anymore. It's the Democratic mainstream at this point. And what's alarming is that, hey, if a Republican had a Nazi tattoo or lied about it, every Democrat and media outlet would be demanding their political execution. You guys know it, man. Y'all know it. But since it's their guy, suddenly, it's all about forgiveness and dark moments. One Democratic panelist on CNN even said they'd still support Plattner, claiming everyone has dark moments. Really? Try saying that about a conservative. We've witnessed Republicans get destroyed for far less. But Democrats always protect whoever's useful to their cause. Hate Trump loudly enough, and anything goes with them. Anything goes with them. And Jennings hit the nail on the head. The Democrat Party's energy doesn't come from the moderates anymore. It comes from the socialist wing, the far left progressives. That's where it comes from. The activists who idolized Bernie Sanders, defended or continue to defend Antifa, and want to dismantle capitalism. Ultimately, they want to destroy the nation. Their leaders, they're too scared to challenge them because they know they'll be primaried into extinction. They know this. And that's why Hakeem Jeffries can get behind a Zoran Mondani. And that's why a Bernie Sanders can support a dude, who has come out and called himself a full-fledged socialist. Look at what's going on in Maine. Look at this. And the takeaway is this. Democrats, they built this monster. They created it. They embraced extremism, to stop Trump. And now they're stuck with a base that excuses socialism, Nazi tattoos, and political violence. And this isn't about one candidate. It's about the party that lost its moral compass, trading principle for ideology. And to be honest with you, I don't think they ever had a moral compass. That the Democrat Party has been an evil, wicked cabal of sickos, sycophants, people that will do some of the most monstrous things to gain power. They've been that for quite some time, almost to their existence. So honestly, I don't even know if we should be surprised, with how extreme they are. I don't think we should be surprised. They've always been like this. The problem is that they've done a really good job of being very covert about it, keeping things close to the vest. But now, with social media and the way information flows and flies, hey, they can't help but have it leak out. And I'm a firm believer, man, that, hey, you let people talk long enough, they'll show you who they are. And we judge the tree by the fruit that it bears, not by what they say. We judge them by the fruit. So all we got to do is look at their policy, look at the cities that they run. Everywhere that they run, the cities are in shambles. The states are a mess. Everywhere. I can't think of one place that is ran by these people that is like, a place that folks legitimately want to move to. I can't think of one place where it's like, hey, Democrats are running that. That is a great place to live. I can't think of one place. But I got to say this, man, if they think that the American people will continue to support this, they're in for a rude awakening, in my opinion. More and more people are waking up to the shenanigans. Now, they're going to have, some strongholds because, unfortunately, you got a lot of people out there that just, they're just not smart. They don't know any better. Or you got some people out there that they legitimately, hey, they got to touch the fire. Legit. Hey, we got to touch the fire. And they got to get burnt before they realize, like, hey, that's what they were talking about. We didn't realize it was going to be this bad. So a lot of those folks up in New York City, I mean, that's looking like they're going to vote this Mondani character in, who's never actually held a job, who's come out and told you, hey, I am a full-fledged socialist. I plan to give a bunch of free everything. They're going to realize that it's not going to work. But it's going to be too late, and they're going to have to deal with it for the next 4 years or so. Oh man, I want to keep it moving though. I want to speak on a party that's obviously continuing to lose its way, and the party that's prioritized ideology over the lives of everyday Americans. I want to pivot to this story out of New Jersey. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but it's New Jersey, super blue stronghold where Democrat policies often just steamroll family legacies in the name of progress. You guys know the drill. A well-intentioned mandate that turned into government overreach, forcing hardworking folks to fight tooth and nail just to hold on to what is theirs. But this time, it's a family that stood up and said, nah, we're not doing that. And they actually won. I want you guys to see this. Check this out.
A 175-year-old family farm in New Jersey saved after reaching an agreement and avoiding the town's plan to turn half of its land into affordable housing through eminent domain. Earlier this month, Jack Ciattarelli made it a campaign stop speaking out against the plan. Watch.
If you want the perfect and most compelling example of all that's wrong with the current state-mandated housing policies, it's right here on the land upon which we stand. To use eminent domain to condemn a 175-year-old family farm in order to accommodate the need to build high-density housing in a community where there is no infrastructure.
Yeah, so you got this 175-year-old farm in New Jersey. They just beat back an eminent domain grab. Now for months, you had the brothers, Andy and Chris Henry. They've been fighting tooth and nail with the township. And in this, what some would call a David versus Goliath battle over state mandate, forcing towns to add more affordable housing. Under Democratic Governor Phil Murphy, New Jersey's plan to build 146,000 units by 2035, a top-down policy that sounds noble on paper, but often targets private land. Cranberry Township picked the Henry's farm for 130 units, serving them papers to seize half the property. Land that's been in their family since 1850. I mean, this isn't some corporate, agribusiness. I mean, it's a working cattle and sheep farm that's weathered fires and the Great Depression and everything in between. But then Henry's decided that, hey, they're not going to fold. And they sued the township, rallied the neighbors, and turned their fight into a statewide symbol for property rights, even drawing bipartisan support along the way.
So let's bring in the co-owners of Henry Family Farm, and Andy and Chris Henry, along with their attorney, Timothy Duggan. First of all, congratulations on saving your farm. Andy, what does this mean to you and your family?
Oh, gosh. Well, it's been our legacy for 175 years. And all my ancestors struggled to get through all kinds of crises, the house burning down, the Great Depression. So to be able to keep it as we always wanted to do is just such a blessing.
So, Timothy, I wanted to get this right. What the state wanted to do, what the town wanted to do, was to take this farm that had been in the Henry family for 175 years and turn it into subsidized government housing?
Yes, the township of Cranberry was required to build a certain number of affordable housing units over the next 10 years. And as part of that plan, they selected the Henry Farm to build about 130 affordable housing units. We opposed it, filed a lawsuit, and believed it wasn't a suitable site for proper use of the power of eminent domain.
So obviously a lot of politicians now are coming out and claiming credit for all of this, and including Governor Phil Murphy. Chris, when you look back at this fight that your family has put up, who would you give credit for helping bring about this day?
Oh my gosh, that needs to get spread around. I know that the residents of Cranberry have helped us immensely. Specifically Jay Taylor and Tim Brennan. My brother, as the manager of our farm, certainly deserves a lot of credit. He was there in April when we got the letter. I know he's worked with Secretary Rollins and other people. There just been a lot of people with a lot of concern that have helped us through this journey, and we're extremely grateful to all of them.
And obviously, people in town were pretty horrified at the idea that you would destroy this farm. Andy, it looks like you all raised some cattle there. What else do you all raise on your farm?
Well, right now, it's cattle and sheep. We have had chickens in the past, and even a couple of goats, which always seem to manage to get out of the fence somehow. So there's cattle and sheep right now. Yes, sir.
And Chris, is there anything what is your favorite thing about the farm?
Well, it's I guess just a feeling of being back there, since it's where Andy and I grew up.
Yeah.
Just a sense of history and the people who have lived there. A lot of the photographs we have. My mother and father were a big part of it. I know they wanted to keep the thing in the family. Right. It's I guess just a sense of history and everything that comes with it.
Well, congratulations on succeeding at your fight, and good luck.
Yeah. Good for them, man. I mean, this is something that the government has done before in the past. This eminent domain, foolishness. This is something that they have done in the past. Good for them for being able to, one, get a lawyer and, to really get some eyes on this. I mean, I think that's some of the beauty of social media, right? Is that, there was a time that they could do this and, hey, you really didn't have a chance to fight it. There was no social media. There was no way to get the word out. And, eventually your land just gets snatched. But the Henry brothers, man, I mean, they were inches away from losing their 175-year-old farm. I mean, their home, their business, the legacy, until a last-minute rule change from the New Jersey Housing and Mortgage Finance Agency freed up other land for development, sparing their property. And that's the only way that they were able to keep this. Their attorney, Tim Dugan, he nailed it though, man. The farm was never fit for dense housing. It's full of wetlands and, traffic constraints and things of that nature. There's zero infrastructure there. But, the win didn't happen in a vacuum. Jack Ciattarelli made the Henrys fight a campaign stop as well, blasting Phil Murphy's 146,000 unit housing mandate as the real culprit. And it's a policy that sounds compassionate, but it bulldozes taxpayers and family farms to meet quotas. And even Murphy tried to take credit for it. He tried to, although he was the one implementing this, calling the farm a cherished part of our state story. While, Brooke Rollins from the Trump campaign pushed behind the scenes to help save it. Proof that real pragmatism still exists. Now, here's the bigger picture. Affordable housing in blue states like New Jersey and California and New York has become a developer's gold mine. drives up taxes, y'all know this, paves over farmland, and rarely stays affordable. I think somebody mentioned a studio going for $1,500. That don't sound affordable for a studio apartment. But the winners when this happens, are the political insiders and the builders, not working families or local communities. Y'all know this. And if Chitterelli wins, expect a shift towards smart growth incentives instead of land seizures. But that's who the Democrat Party is. They want to tax you into oblivion. And when they feel like they need your land, hey, we'll just take the land from you. We'll just take it. That's who they are, man. That is the socialist communist way, though, right? For now, the Henry's victory, it's a powerful reminder that, heritage isn't disposable. And when ordinary families fight back, bureaucrats blink first. This isn't the first time that something like this has happened. I would assume that it will not be the last time that government entities try to just basically take someone's property in the name of whatever agenda that they want to push. And it's crazy. It's crazy. But that's all I have for you guys today, man. A couple super chats I want to read before we get up out of here. All right. Shout out to Goose Down Story with the $2 super chat. Said he lies. That dog tattoo is now a goat. Shout out to Steve Hadeen with the $2 super chat. Says hypocrisy on full display. Absolutely. Shout out to Philip with the $5 super chat. Says, what I don't understand is why is this guy always walking around with his shirt off? Lack of professionalism is what I think, but that's the demon craps for you. Shout out to Amy Smith joining the ARP family. Thank you very much. I appreciate your support, and I thank you for joining the channel. Shout out to Malachi with the $2 super chat. Says, at least Tim Walz endorsed Frey and not Omar Fada. Yeah, I was surprised to see that. Surprised. Shout out to Rolando with the $5 super chat. Says, the wash because the dirt comes out in the wash. I thought that old adage was the dirt comes out in the rinse, but okay. Appreciate the explanation. Thank you very much. Shout out to Hunter with the $5 super chat. Says that if they try doing this here in North Carolina to my farm, and I'll turn this place into the place they had in Homestead real quick. I don't recall Homestead. You have to clarify that for me. Thank you, Crystal. Appreciate you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Hope you enjoyed the weekend. We're going to get up out of here, man. I appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. If you could, hit that like button on the way out the building. And shout out to everybody that supported the channel this morning via Super Chat, Super Thanks, those that joined the ARP family. Thank you, Renee Suzanne, for gifting ARP family memberships. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that as well. And, thank you to my Blues, man. What's up, T.A. Caskey? Good to see you up in here. Good to see you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Hope you enjoyed the weekend, brother. It's good to see you. Oh, it said it's a movie called Homestead. Got you. Okay, I don't think I've watched that. Yeah, I don't think I've watched Homestead before. I might have to check that out. But thank you, guys. What's up, Ashley Marie Lopez? Good to see you this morning. Appreciate you pulling up. Papa Don in the building. Shout out to you as well. Thank you, guys, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Lord willing, we'll be back at this thing tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning. Hey, show up with us. Come hang out with us Wednesday evening. That show will start at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're still trying to figure out a name. I kind of like the Rents. Yeah, I kind of like that. I like the Rents. We'll see. We'll see if that kind of sticks with me, for the next couple of days. Opposed to the Wash, I kind of like the Rents. The dirt does come out in the Rents. Do appreciate that. Thank you, Rolando. We'll work on that. I'll see if that sticks. See how long that sticks with me. But we'll appreciate that. Thank you guys very much, man. But shout out to all the Blues, keeping things peaceful in the chat, man. I appreciate you guys as well. Thank you guys very much. As always, man, keep God first, stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. God bless you guys, man. Take care. Peace.
Vibes so raw. so sharp.